Go get you some computer paper, sis. Go get you like a pack of college ruled paper, you know, from the store or whatever. Find something, get you a scrap piece of paper, get you a napkin, sis, anything, and just start writing it down. Just start writing it down. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel for another video on Career Talk with Taylor. Today I am so excited to be filming this video because we are going to be talking about how to eliminate stress and keep it gone. So you're going to want to watch to the very end, of course, because I'm going to be sharing with you all a very special announcement. So stay tuned. So today on Career Talk with Taylor, we are going to tackle how to eliminate stress in your career and keep it gone. Now, this is something that can be quite difficult, especially if you don't know what triggers you and you don't know how you react to stress. First of all, I just want to mention that as you guys can see, I did something new to my hair, trying some different hairstyles. This was just in Bantu knots. It didn't really come out how I was hoping, but you know, I'm not really mad at it. This is just another one of those things that we deal with as Black women when we're trying to wear our hair natural. Now, you know, I don't really mind this style. It's kind of puffy over here on this side, but this is exactly why I either wear my hair braided up and in a ponytail like in my last video, or I just braid my hair down and just put a wig on top of it, because honestly, our hair is just so unpredictable. Like, you never know. When you're taking out those twists, you're like, ooh, is this going to work? Hopefully it works. Hopefully it doesn't come out looking crazy, because I could have very well changed my style, but as a lot of you know, once your hair kind of comes out and it's not exactly how you wanted it to be, it's going to take a little while for your hair to get into another style. So I was just like, whatever, I'll just wear my hair like this. We all know, you know, the trials that we go through trying to wear our hair natural, especially when it comes to our careers. Now, if I was getting ready for work this morning, this would have stressed me out. This would have definitely triggered me, and that's why it's really good to talk about things that stress you out and how we can eliminate them and keep them gone. Now, before we get into the video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are new here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to have you guys here. Make sure you comment down below and let me know that you subscribed, and let me know that you're here and you're watching. I'm really excited to bring this content to you all and share and just support each other as we grow in our careers, okay? So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that bell notification button so that you're always alerted when a new video is out. Okay, so eliminating stress and keeping it gone. How to eliminate stress and keep it gone. Now, this topic for me is very important, because I remember a time in my life when I did not think that I got stressed. I never, you know, I'm already just an optimistic person by nature. I'm an Aries zodiac sign. I'm a rising Sagittarius sign, and my moon sign is like a Taurus. So I'm definitely like a very chill person. I don't typically stress out. Like, if you see me stressing out, or if you see that I'm stressed about something, then you know that it was a really bad situation or something like that, because I just don't stress. It's really funny too, because I remember a time when I was actually at a job interview, and I had never gotten this question ever before, but the lady who was interviewing me asked me, so how do you handle stress? And I swear on everything, this was my answer. It was terrible answer. But I was like, oh, I'm too blessed to be stressed. Something like that. Like, I was like, I'm too blessed for stress. Something like that. And I thought that was the perfect answer to give her, like, oh, you don't even have to worry about me because I don't get stressed. I'm too blessed and I don't get stressed. And I just thought that that was just like the cutest little perfect answer, girl. And no, that was a terrible answer. And you know, after I left that interview, I was thinking about what I said, and I was like, I really could have given her some tactical ways to tackle stress, even if I'm not the type of person that stresses out a lot. Like, there's so much more that you could say than, oh, I am too blessed to be stressed, so don't even worry about that. No. So yeah, I'm just not the type of person that is normally stressed out. But you know, that was a long time ago, and as I've grown and gone through a lot of different challenges, I have encountered, you know, being stressed out, and I've seen what that looks like in my life. Stress is different for a lot of people. Stress looks different in a lot of people's lives. So I know for me, when I'm under a lot of stress, I typically tend to just kind of separate myself from everyone else. I remember a time when I was just really stressed, and it was just really, really, really bad. And I didn't want to be bothered by anyone. Like, I wasn't answering any calls from any of my friends. Like, I just did not want to have to face reality, because that meant that I was going to need to check in with myself and really be honest with myself. And I wasn't at the point yet, you know, where I wanted to kind of face that. So I definitely secluded myself from everyone and just really isolated myself in a way that I had never done before. Like I said, I don't really stress out that much. And on top of that, you know, I love being around people. I love being with people that I love and I care about. So for me to really, you know, isolate myself and just take myself away from everybody else, that was pretty difficult for me. And I'm pretty sure that it was difficult for the people that are used to having me, like, always be around and always be a person that they can come to and talk to and things like that. I also noticed that there were a lot of things that would just trigger me, like, you know, the smallest little comment that somebody would say, or, you know, I started to think that, like, people were against me and weren't on my side and didn't have my back. So I was very, very triggered by a lot of things, and that's another reason why I isolated myself from people, because I just didn't know, you know, how to take what people were saying to me a lot of the time. So I was triggered, I isolated myself, and I think I just needed some time to just figure myself out. But that is really what it looks like for me when I'm under a lot of stress and I'm under a lot of pressure. It's not a productive state at all. I wasn't being productive. You know, I wasn't just being myself. And so I kind of had to figure out some ways to grow and become more mature in, you know, who I was or in the situation that I went through. And in doing that, I learned how to eliminate stress and some tactics for keeping the stress gone, or when the stress comes, knowing how to remove that energy from my space and just continue to move forward. And that's really all that it is. That's all that you're feeling. It's just an energy that is stress that you can literally just move out of your space. So when stress comes into it, it's an energy, just like any other energy, whether it's any other feeling that you feel, whether it's anger, whether it's happiness. We are really manifesting all of this energy into our lives based on our day-to-day actions. And last week I made the video where I talked about intentions, and all of this really has to do with what your intentions are from the very, very start. So you start out with a goal, or you start out doing certain actions, and based on what those intentions are, from where you start, where you end up, you kind of along the way have these feelings and emotions and things happen to you and this goes on and that goes on. You become stressed out about it. You get over it. All these things happen in the middle of you going from point A to point B. So having the right intentions from the start will kind of help you to stay focused along your journey. But back to stress. So stress is energy that comes into your life, and when it does come in, you just have to know how to realize it and how to move it out, and how to, when you realize it and you move it out, then you're able to eliminate it for good, because you know how to spot it and you know how to maneuver past it and just push through and move forward. Now, the number one thing that I know a lot of people do to help them with their stress, or help them to cope with their stress and just get it out of their system, is journaling. So journaling, or pretty much writing it out on paper, helps me the most. I was going to say like doing a voice memo, or, you know, getting it out of your system, but writing it down with ink on paper and just how that ink moves on that paper, there's just something so therapeutic about doing that. Now, two of my journals right now are holding up my camera, so I won't show you those, but I have a few of them that I still keep. A lot of times, just looking back on my life as I've journaled in the past, I don't like to keep my journals. I'm just that type of person. I will journal and write it out, and then I'll come back and read it a few, you know, months later, or maybe some years later, and I'm like, what? Like, why was there nobody there checking on me? Because this is some real life stuff that I wrote down, and this is really what I was going through and how I felt at the time. After I get over something, or I grow through something, or move past it, I don't really want to keep it. I don't even want to keep it around, because some of those things in that journal are just a little bit too hot of tea for me to keep around anyway. So they need to be destroyed. They literally need to be destroyed. So I'll throw them away, or I'll just get rid of them if I feel like it's something in there that I want to keep, or maybe add upon, then I'll keep them. But typically I like write it down and throw my journal away, you know, after some years have passed, because nobody needs those secrets haunting them around the way. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, journaling is something that really, really helps. You feel whatever feeling that is coming into you, and sometimes it's best to just tell your journal. You don't want to tell somebody else and then tell your mom or tell your best friend or something like that, because you're adding energy. You're adding to that energy when you continuously, you know, talk about those things and think about them. You need to get it out of your system, but, you know, sharing it or talking about it with other people, a lot of times it's just not the answer that you're, you know, looking for. You're not going to get the outcome that you're looking for. You're just going to continue to talk about it, think about it. If you write it down, the journal can't talk back to you, and then after you get over it, you can destroy the journal. So never to be seen ever again. So if you don't journal, I definitely would suggest you start doing that. Basically all you have to do is just start pouring out how you feel, just like you would if you were talking to someone in person. Tell your journal the situation, be truthful about it, be truthful about how you feel, and then as you go back and read through what you wrote, you're better able to take a look at what the perspective is, or what your perspective was when you wrote that, and then you can kind of get clarity on, you know, am I taking this out of context? You know, what did I do? And I hate the whole what did I do, or someone asking you, what did you do? But sometimes you really do have to look at yourself and your own actions. And like I said before, this goes back to your intentions. Intentions cover, or everything starts with intentions. So what was your role in it? Whatever happens to you in your life kind of is basically a reflection of what you do and what intentions you set forth. And sometimes that can be a really difficult pill to swallow, because there's nobody that you can get mad at but yourself a lot of the times. So when you write it down and you journal it, your journal can't judge you. You can just read through it, find the perspective for yourself, and then you're able to say, you know what, I could have done X, Y, and Z, and maybe the outcome would have been different. Even if that person or that situation was in the wrong, even if they ended up doing wrong to you, you have to kind of take ownership of what your part was, what part you played into the situation. You could have had good intentions. It's not about having good intentions versus bad intentions. Or it's not about, I had a good heart towards X, Y, and Z. Because it's not about, that's not really what intentions really are. It's not about having good intentions or bad intentions. It's about your actions. It's about your thoughts, what you thought about, what you did, and what manifested because of what you did and how you thought. That's really what intentions are. You don't put good or bad to it. At least I don't. I just look at it based on, what I was thinking about, what you intended to do, and what you actually did. A lot of the times could be two very different things. You could have good intentions all day long, but your actions are horrible. Your actions are terrible. So really, you just have to check in. What are you thinking about? What is your goal in this? What did you do, and what manifested because of that? And even if that person was in the wrong, a lot of the times when you go back and you think about it, it's like, okay, I kind of did start with X, Y, and Z. I kind of did start on the wrong road and going in the direction that I really wasn't trying to go in. So when you journal and when you write things down, like I said, you're able to really take a look from a different perspective. Now you're taking a look at it from a person who's reading as opposed to a person that's writing. Even though you're the same person, it's kind of gives you a different perspective when you go back and you're reading it. And then, like I said, you can start to think about, okay, what's really going on here? What is this real situation? And then that leads me into number 2. The next thing that really helps me to eliminate stress is my faith. So sometimes you're not going to always be able to discern really what's going on and what's wrong and what's right. So for me, I say a little prayer. I asked God to direct me into, how he wants me to really view what happened, the situation. What he wants me, what lesson does he want me to learn from how I feel about what has happened, right? So the good thing about giving it to God or giving, allowing him to kind of help you discern the situation is that once you give it over to him, it's in his hands. It's no longer in your hands, and you no longer, you wrote it down on paper, you got the energy, you moved it from yourself to on this paper, and now that kind of relieves a little bit of pressure from you. And then when you give it to God and you just let him deal with it, first of all, he's way more powerful than you. His mind surpasses your mind totally. So you take it off of yourself and you put it onto him. Now it's like, okay, now you come and tell me what you want me to know about this situation and how you want me to move forward into the future. So I'll tell you a little quick story. When I was growing up, you know, my parents, we were looking for houses once we moved back to Atlanta. So we were looking for houses, and, you know, it took us a little bit longer than we had expected, but there was this beautiful, beautiful neighborhood that was being built. It was being developed. It wasn't really all finished yet, but they were telling us all these great things that were going to be included in this neighborhood. You know, it was going to be somewhere where celebrities like live right across the street from you, but this side's going to be affordable. And, you know, I'm talking about these houses were beautiful at the very beginning. There wasn't really a house that I didn't like. And I was like, oh yes, this is the neighborhood for us. Like, this is great. This is so beautiful. I would love to come home to this every single day. So we would go over there and we would look through the houses like every weekend. Like, please find a way for us to be able to get into this neighborhood because this is what we love. This is beautiful. So we were like sold on it. But things just were not falling into place the way that, you know, we had hoped for. So down the line, I guess, you know, we kind of just not really moved on, but, you know, we start putting our eggs into different baskets, continuing our search and continuing to look for things that could possibly work for us. And if this neighborhood was for us, then okay, we would get it. But of course, we had to put it in the hands of God and just allow him to direct our steps. So literally years go by, year after year after year, and we still are not like in our place that we want to be in. And so finally, like when I'm graduating from high school, we finally get into a place that's, you know, beautiful and good for us in a great neighborhood. And then just recently, like this weekend, my mom and I are just driving around and something, you know, just made us want to stop into that old neighborhood that we love so much and that we wanted to live in so bad. So we go back over there and turns out that that neighborhood has tons of foreclosures now. The developers were not able to get enough money to finish the neighborhood in the way that they had really tried to sell it. And the property value was just down on the neighborhood. And we just looked at each other and were like, you know, if we had really stuck to what we wanted in the situation, then we would have been living in this neighborhood and, you know, this has gone belly up and we're not able to, you know, move out, sell it or anything like that. The property value has gone down so bad. Not one person, celebrity lives up in here. I don't know that to be true, but, you know, a lot of the houses were not even built. So that just goes to show you that a lot of times when you put the situation into God's hands, he'll lead you to where you really need to go or where he needs for you to be in order for you to be in alignment with his will. So when you're journaling and you're writing all this stuff down and you're putting it down on paper, you just give it to God at the end of the day and you just ask him to help you discern the situation and ask him for his guidance. And I guarantee you, you know, he might not give you it in the same day. He might not give it to you in the same week, but he will be guiding you and he will be giving you what he needs for you to do to make it, you know, on to the next level or go to the next step in whatever it is. It always works for me. Sometimes I don't even want to listen, you know, I'm like, no, like this is what I want. This is how I feel. And I feel like I'm right and all of that. But then he's like, look at it again. Look at it from this perspective. You know, what did I tell you to do on day one? Did you do that? Or did you do what you really want, what you wanted to do? And then I'm like, okay, I see your point, you know, whatever. That type of thing. So always putting it in God's hands and, you know, praying on it and asking for him to give you the discernment to understand the situation based on his perspective or based on his will and how you can be aligned with his will, that always works. It will always yield success in the end, trust me. Now, once you've written everything down in your journal, all your deepest, darkest secrets, and then you've asked God and you've prayed for discernment and you've prayed for his guidance so that you can move forward, the next thing that I do is I get organized. Now, I get busy, you know, like everybody does. I get busy and sometimes things just don't get done. But for the most part, I am very much so an organized person. I love a clean room. I love a clean car. One of my friends actually got into my car a couple of weeks ago. And when he got in the car, he was like, girl, what is wrong with you? Like, there's got to be something wrong, because I had like trash in my car. It was just horrible. So, and I was definitely stressed out and wasn't cleaning up my car. A lot of times I know that I'm stressed when I am able to sit in messiness and I'm like okay with it, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, one thing that I do to kind of help me to eliminate that is to get organized. Girl, you got to clean up. You got to put things back in their place where they need to be. And I don't even want to, I can't even record this video unless I like sweep in my bathroom or make sure I like vacuum my floors and there's nothing on them and make my bed up. You know what I'm saying? Like, getting organized and getting your space cleaned and organized kind of helps you with clean out the space in your mind at the same time. You know, you need to have a clean, purified mind so that when you are getting these directions and this guidance, after you've prayed, it has somewhere to go. You know what I'm saying? So you have to just clean that out, clean your space up, get organized, put things in their specific spot. And I never really understood that growing up. My mom would be like, everything needs a place, that type of thing. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It has a place right there on the floor. And that's where, you know, everything is organized chaos and all this stuff. But no, that really doesn't make any sense. You're probably just sitting in your stress and you really don't know what to do or how to make that next move. It's like being in a mental blockage. So last week in my last video, we talked about mental blockages, right? So when you are sitting in that organized chaos, a lot of times it's really just a mental blockage. I don't really know too many people that can truly honestly say organized chaos works for them. No, it's just chaos. It's just chaos. You're living in chaos and that's just what it is. It's not even organized. It's just chaos everywhere. So everything has a place. And when I learned to put everything in a specific place, it was a lot easier to make sure things were organized and cleaned up. Because, you know, if I see I have something sitting here or I have something sitting there, then it's out of place. Put it back in its place and now things look clean all of a sudden. So get organized. Make sure you have enough room inside of your mental space in order for you to attract more information and more guidance about how you need to proceed and move forward. That's one of the most important ways that you can eliminate stress for good, is if you have somewhere to put the new information and new guidance that you're constantly getting, that we're all constantly getting. Dump out the old stuff, throw things away, put things in their place, and then you're able to get more things that you can create space for. So get organized. So that would be my third thing. After you wrote everything down and got it all out of you, you pray for discernment and you pray for guidance, and then you just get organized, because things are going to come to you quick and fast, and you need some places inside of you and around you to put all this new stuff that you're going to start getting once you start dumping some of that stress and that stressful energy out of your way. So the next thing that I do to help me to eliminate my stress and keep it gone is to refocus on my goals, refocus on the things that are most important to me. So did I have a goal that I wanted to start yoga? I always want to restart my yoga goal every Monday, that type of thing. Do I need to do that? Am I exercising like I said I wanted to do? Am I drinking enough water like I said that I wanted to do? What are the goals that I need to refocus on? A lot of times for me, it's my projects that I start on. So as a person who is a communications professional, someone who does marketing and communications, I have a lot of projects that I work on, and just me being me, I've noticed in my life that every time I come to a new phase in my life, there's always a marketing campaign or a communications campaign that helps me to push myself to the next level, or to the next level for myself, in my growth and in my maturity, my personal growth. Just looking back on my life, I remember having my first website was Official It Girl World. I know some people remember Official It Girl World out there. Then I had just a bunch of different blogs and a bunch of different websites that I promoted myself on and promoted who I am in this season of my life. So right now, I have That Biz Model, aka TaylorMCross.com, and I'm focusing a lot on my marketing and communications projects that I'm doing right now. So that is something that I can focus on. That's something that, even this YouTube channel, something that I can focus on, and something that I can prioritize each and every week. I know what I need to be doing, and it's difficult, especially right now with all this coronavirus quarantine, us being in quarantine, in the house all day long. It kind of, got to me oh my goodness. It was the most anxiety that I had, just because I'm so used to working, and when I work a lot and when I'm doing a lot of things, I'm really not thinking about any kind of problems that I have. I'm just thinking about solutions that I need to come up with for, work and for the projects that I'm working on. So being that I've been in quarantine for all this time, the only thing that I can do here is to focus on myself and focus on how I feel. And that has led me to, want to kind of share with other people and find other people that like this channel, that we can kind of support each other, because it is hard, it is difficult, it does get kind of difficult, and it's nothing that you should go through by yourself, especially with social media. We all can kind of come together and support each other. So just remembering what your goals are and just refocusing on those things. Like I said, once you kind of dump everything out and you are able to organize your space and organize your mind, you're going to be getting a lot of, messages in your mind telling you how to move forward. That's just how our minds work. That's just how our intention and our, space within this universe works. When you ask for something, what you say, your words, everything kind of culminates together and kind of gives you your next steps. And for me, that's God. For other people who may not be spiritual, I really don't know what it is for you. But a lot of times, a lot of people, you get things, you get messages, and you get tasks that you need to put together and do so that you can get to the next level. And so, just refocusing on what it is that you need to do, what direction it is that you need to go into. It's really important when it comes to eliminating that stress from the past and keeping it gone, because now you're no longer focused on the situation. You're no longer focused on what happened and what stressed you out. Now you're focused on something that is more positive, and those are your goals. So you need to think about what those goals are and just prioritize them and stay focused on those good positive things that you're now getting, and you now can store in places where you have space to do so. Now, lastly, in eliminating stress and keeping it gone, the last thing that you need to focus on after you have journaled it and written it down, after you've asked God to give you discernment and guidance, after you have cleared and organized your space in your mind, and after you are refocused now on your goals, the last thing that is really important in eliminating your stress and keeping it gone is prioritizing your time and setting those boundaries. This is the most important step, because this is really what keeps you going and keeps that stress gone and eliminated. Just thinking about, what you really want and who you really want to become, and focusing on you yourself. Not focusing on your own path, and not focusing on your friends, not thinking about your family. Of course, you want to, think about those people and keep those people close to you that you care for, and that you, respect their opinion as it pertains to your life. But it's really, really important for you to prioritize you, and prioritize you into your own time. That's something that even I have struggled with. I'm the type of person that loves hard. I love love, and I love the people that I love. And I'm checking up on people. I am the first person to want to get together. But a lot of times I kind of lose focus on myself. I kind of lose focus on what my goals were, what the instructions that were given to me to do, and I don't really prioritize my own self into the mix of all of that. So that's something that I'm working on, and it's something that I've noticed really helps me to keep that stress out. Keep that stress from, seeping back in and coming back into me. Because once I've written it down and I've given it to God, there's really no more that I can do in that situation. I really, truly have to have faith and just let things go and, just move on. Focus on my goals. Focus on making sure that, I'm organized, and then just prioritizing myself and prioritizing my time so that I can really move from point A to point B and really, get out of that mental blockage that is holding me back from getting to the next level. So if you are someone who is like that as well, definitely making sure that you prioritize yourself and prioritize your time into all of that is what's going to help you make sure that stress doesn't come back into your life. It sounds easier than it really is. It really does. It's easier said than done, because when you're in that situation, you want to think about it over and over again. You want to overthink about it. You want to think about what you did, what they did, think about the situation in a whole, and then you want to turn it around, flip it backwards, and kind of think about it and in another way and see it from another point of view, or all this other stuff. And then you just get crazy and get overwhelmed in your mind when all you are really supposed to do is just let it go and move on. And that can be the hardest thing sometimes to do. So write down in the comments and let me know if you've experienced this as well. But prioritizing your own time and setting your boundaries. And like I said in my story about when we were trying to choose a house, what is for you is going to be for you, and you can't get around that. The only thing that you can do is delay yourself, because you're on the little wheel that the little rat runs on, and it just runs and runs and runs and runs in circles all day long. The only thing that you can really do is delay your time and waste your time, because a lot of the times you've done all that you can do, literally, because you're an overthinker and you are someone who, you know, looks at the picture in all different types of scenarios. So I know, I know, because I have been that person as well. You have literally done all that you can do. And now it's just time to let it go, because you're not being productive. You're not reaching the goals that you want. Your mind is clogged up with all this information of yourself, trying to work on it yourself and figure it out on yourself. But the fact that you're even going through all this should let you know that it's one of those situations that is above you. It's above you, sis. It's above you. So you should really just like let it go and, you know, tap into your own inner self. Those boundaries with people, set those boundaries with yourself, and prioritize your time so that you're able to get to where you need to be. And I promise you, if you do those steps, if you do those 5 steps that I just mentioned to you, journaling, writing it down, praying, asking God for discernment, clearing out your space and organizing your space and organizing your thoughts in your mind, refocusing on your goals and prioritizing your time, then you will successfully have eliminated your stress and tactics that you need to keep it gone. You will eliminate your stress and you will successfully keep it gone. I promise you, it works every single time. And the more you do it, the more you practice it, just like anything else, the more you'll get better at it, and you're building that muscle, and you're gonna get stronger. You're gonna see yourself grow in ways that you've never, you know, thought that you could actually do, or that could be for you. You see other people doing it. You see other people as you walk throughout your life, and you're like, oh, I know that person from such and such, and that person looks so different now. Oh my gosh, the way that they're acting, the way that, you know, they are walking around, the way that they're doing this and that. They look different to you because they are prioritizing themselves above all the other stuff that's been stressing them out. And you can do the same thing. So yeah, those are the 5 steps on how to eliminate your stress and keep it gone. If you need to, rewind this back again and start from the very beginning, because a lot of times you just need to kind of hear it. You just need that type of encouragement over and over and over again until it clicks in your mind, because it's not going to be something that you just listen to this one time and now all of a sudden like you're saved. Like, no, it does not work like that. You have to continuously put things into your mind and into your spirit that will help you to get to that next point where you want to be. And really the only person that matters in the situation is you, and how you feel and where you want to go, and who you want to become. So make sure, if you need to, watch this video over again and get it into your spirit and start writing down in your journal today. I don't even care. You don't even need to have a real journal with a spiral and like note paper. Go get you some computer paper, sis. Go get you like a pack of college rule paper, you know, from the store or whatever. Find something, get you a scrap piece of paper, get you a napkin, sis, anything, and just start writing it down. Just start writing it down, okay? That's all you need to do. It doesn't have to be a fancy old notebook. It can be any old thing that you have. Just write it down. Something about writing it, I'm sorry, I'm trying my best to not let my country voice come out. But there's something about writing it down as opposed to like typing it, or putting it like in your phone, even though that can help. But there's something about like writing it down on a piece of paper, and the way that your hand moves when you're writing it on that piece of paper, that gives it a little bit more authenticity into how you feel in your handwriting than it does when you're typing it. I don't know. sometimes I do vision boards like on my computer, and it doesn't really work unless I do it on like an actual poster board, or I actually like physically do something that I'm able to look at each and every day. I don't know, whatever works for you. I do vision boards on my computer. You can put it on your phone, you can put it on your screensaver, something like that, just so that you're able to see it every single day. And that will help you focus on your goals, but that's a whole nother video that we can do later. This video is strictly about eliminating your stress and how to keep it gone. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I have to give you guys my very special announcements. Before you leave, you definitely want to stay to hear my announcement. So, I'm so excited, you guys. I am excited, but I'm also just a little bit scared because, you know, I don't know how it's going to change me and, you know, how my face looks, and I just never have gone through this. But y'all, I am getting braces. Your girl is getting braces, you guys. I'm thinking about getting the clear braces, but I've watched a lot of YouTube videos where people say that their doctors only do the clear braces on the top, and then on the bottom you get the metal braces and this and that. But I'm actually getting braces, and over the years, like, I've just seen my teeth change. I've seen them shift. Like, I have this little gap here, and this is good for me to do this because then I'm able to look back and kind of see how my smile has changed in the future. But I've never had this little issue right here with this little gap right here, and I'm not going to bring too much attention to it, but I have a gap, and this like came out of nowhere in the last 3 years. And I also have my wisdom teeth down here. I have all 4 wisdom teeth in my mouth right now, but I'm getting those removed because they have started to cause crowding, especially like on the bottom row of my teeth. So I'm going to be getting braces, y'all. It's going to be difficult for me to like talk and do these videos, but hopefully I'm able to push through all that, and then we can talk about my whole like braces journey. Comment below and let me know if you guys want to see a vlog or something of me like going to the dentist. Coming up in a couple of days, I'm going to the dentist to get my wisdom teeth removed. So I'm going to try and like pre-record a few more videos because I just don't know how it's going to affect me and how I'm going to be talking, and my head's going to be hurting. Also, definitely check in on me because your girl is getting all 4 of my wisdom teeth removed on the same day, and then the next week I'm going to be getting braces, y'all, full braces all up in my mouth. So that's going to be a very interesting experience, and then we can talk about braces, and we can talk about, you know, how we're going to be dealing with, or how I'm going to, because y'all not getting them, how I'm going to be dealing with these braces as I continue to like go to work and this and that, and how it's just going to change things. Hopefully not too much, but we'll see. So yes, that was my very special announcement. So it's going to be really, really fun to share that experience with all of you. And definitely make sure you subscribe to my channel and click the bell notification so that you are notified whenever I have a new video out there. Thumbs up this video if you got something out of it, and make sure you comment below and let me know that you are here and that you are a part of our new tribe that we got going on here with YouTube. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all on the next video.